Hello. I'm delighted to welcome you to this episode of Lights Out, your virtual campfire. I'm your hostess with the mostest ghosties, Sylvia Shults. Is it possible to become friends with a ghost? I've learned in my time at the Peoria State Hospital that anything is possible. My acquaintance with Chris, the young ghost in the basement of the Pollak, has been one of the most rewarding parts of my paranormal journey so far. Come along with me now for another visit with the boy in the basement as we go Lights Out. For those of my listeners who perhaps haven't met Chris yet, here is his story. He was a patient at the asylum in the early years. He has said that the last year he remembers is 1905. I met Chris several years ago. For most of that time, my interaction with him was very limited, because I am not one of those gifted folks who can see or talk to dead people. But on a couple of my visits to the Pollak Hospital, I brought my psychic medium friend Diane Lockhart with me as an interpreter. With her help, I am now able to have a conversation with Chris. It's a bit one-sided, but it's a conversation nonetheless. Chris, I'm back. I am absolutely delighted to join you again. Trying to leave enough room for him to talk.
He said, "Where have you been, my friend?"
Oh, well, I've been working. I work at a library, and I'm actually on vacation this week. Where is he, so I can look at him while I'm talking?
He's standing like in front of the hall.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's kind of, I wish, Chris, I wish I could see you so I could face you all the time instead of waiting for Diane to tell me.
Yeah, because he started laughing then when you said, "Where is he?" He started laughing. And he's right there.
Oh, dear heart. Oh, okay. Well, yes, I'm on vacation right now, so this is the second to last day of vacation, and I have to go back to work, but it's okay because I love my job.
He said, "What do you do?" Which I think you've told him, but apparently forgot.
Oh, I am a librarian. I check books out to people, and I check them back in, and I help people find the books that they need. It's mostly checking out and checking in, though. And I am in charge of doing the magazines and putting the magazines out for people to read. So we just had the 4th of July. It's July right now, and the 4th has just passed. And I was thinking of you on the 4th and wondering how you celebrated the 4th of July. Not this year, I mean when you were alive.
He said they lived out in the country and his father would shoot off a gun.
Oh!
Is your phone still recording? Does the light
Yeah.
need to be on?
No, it's
Okay.
fine. It's the tablet that's recording.
The tablet, okay. Which that would make sense. Farmers, that's what farmers would do.
Absolutely.
Shoot off their guns, yeah.
I guess you were too far away from town to go to listen to the speeches and stuff?
Yeah, his parents didn't go into town very often.
Okay. Did you make homemade ice cream? Have corn on the cob? Did you have a picnic at all? Did you make the day special?
They said some other farmer and their and his family came over.
Well, that's nice.
So they had like a picnic, yeah.
A little visit.
Kids ran around and played and
how wonderful.
But it was hot, and he wished they would have had a creek by their house.
Love it. Yes, a creek on a hot summer day is a wonderful thing.
So some creeks have leeches in them.
Yeah, and crawdads.
Yeah.
Blah.
Snakes. Now he's laughing at us saying, girls.
I can deal with crawdads and snakes if they don't come too close, but leeches, no.
No.
No,
I hate
thank
leeches.
you. Okay. Oh, Chris, it's so wonderful to talk to you again. I have a couple of surprises for you.
So yeah, I like surprises. Yeah.
Well, good, because my husband doesn't like surprises, and it's no fun living with somebody who doesn't like surprises.
He's just been down here with the grouchy old man. Is what
You deserve some fun, I tell you what. Okay. Well, the first surprise is this. You know how when groups come down here, and they always ask you to say something, and we hope that the recorders will pick it up? You're familiar with that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Probably exasperated.
Yes.
I'm sorry. But here's the thing, Chris, I can't hear you when you talk. Diane can, and it's wonderful. I'm so glad to have her with me. But when you're talking, I can't hear you, except for sometimes. Okay, you're familiar with recordings, right? Because I looked, Edison had done the Edison cylinders and whatnot by 1905. So you're familiar with recordings, recording sound and dances and music and stuff. I had my recorder going, and I actually was able to hear your voice a couple of times.
I told him to talk loud. Well, then maybe you can pick it up again.
Okay. Okay, do you remember when we were here in January and I asked you to hold my hand? Okay, the tingling is fading, so I'm going to take my hand back now. Thank you, Chris. Do you remember that?
Saying, yes, it was my pleasure.
Well, if you say that again, if you say that was my pleasure really loud. Chris, I don't know if you're still standing over there by the pipes, but if you'd like, feel free to come and sit and join us. That would be really wonderful.
No, we're not going to sit on your lap. Remember, like that last one time. He said, you can sit on my lap again.
Oh, dear heart, I would love to.
Like that one lady that did that one time.
There's a friend of mine, I told, is he sitting down?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's sitting there.
Now, don't get embarrassed about this, please. But there's a friend of mine that I told about you. And now she calls you my dead fake boyfriend. So I hope you're not offended by that, because I kind of like having a dead fake boyfriend. And here's another recording that we made of you. Well, actually, we think this might not be your voice. We think it's somebody else's voice. And if you could tell me whose voice this is, that would be really wonderful. There's a woman's voice
Yeah.
that says he was 22. Who was talking? Who was down here with us?
He's talking about Rhoda coming down here, so. And you've been reported that Rhoda was here. And people reported to you that they've seen Rhoda. And he said, a lady named Rhoda comes down here. So it's got to be her.
Does she? Wonderful.
Well, I mean, that's not a very common name, I would think.
Right. So maybe she is the person that said he was 22.
Could have been her.
Yeah.
It says a lady named Rhoda comes down here.
Oh, I'm so thrilled.
Oh.
Can I ask you if Rhoda comes down here because Diane and I are down here?
She comes down to talk to him.
Okay. Oh, that's so cool. Rhoda and Chris know each other.
Chris are talking, yeah. That's what he said. A lady named Rhoda comes down here.
Oh, Chris, that's really nifty news. Rhoda's very special to me, and you are very special to me. So it just makes me so happy that you know each other on the other side. That's so special. Try not to use slang like cool.
Yeah, because you might not understand. Yeah, right, from his era.
Yeah.
But she's not, he said, it's a lady, so I'm assuming she's not like she was in life.
No,
her spirit, is healed.
Yeah, another sensitive told me that she saw Rhoda on the floor, and Rhoda looked up and made eye contact with her. Yes, I know, fine. And got to her knees and then stood and then went.
Yeah, she's healed now.
Yeah. So, oh, that's wonderful. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. I have another surprise for you. And I hope I'm not going to make a complete idiot of myself. But, are you familiar with actually dancing to ragtime music?
He said he likes dancing.
Well,
I do.
We'll take a chance then, shall we?
You're going to dance with Sylvia again this time? You danced with her one time I was here.
I know, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm not a very good dancer anyway, so I hope you weren't disappointed. But this time, nowadays, in addition to recording sound, we can record people walking around and people dancing. So that's what I did. I went to my library and I got a recording of people dancing, and I tried to teach myself how to dance a ragtime dance. So I don't know if you'll be familiar with it. It's called the castle dance. So I recorded the music, and there's a little bit of me saying which steps to do next and everything. So, do you want to give this a try? Do you want to dance with me?
He stood up and he's holding his hand out.
Oh!
I guess he wants to dance.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna get the music going, okay? Okay. Now, like I said, please don't laugh at me too hard. You can laugh a little, but not too hard, okay?
A dance sequence for the castle walk.
Okay.
Ready?
Shall we start?
Step out.
Yeah.
There's not much room to dance, so. I hope you're enjoying
He said you're trying to leave.
Backwards.
Well, what do you expect when she taught herself?
Zigzag, step, 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 turn.
Okay, so let's pick up the dancing.
Wind.
Let her lead then.
It's a very short thing. And it's over now, so thank you so much for dancing. I said a lot too hard. Well, thank you.
We don't have as much energy as you do.
Oh. So did you like that?
He said you did very well, even though you tried to lead.
You are very kind, and I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, is as soon as we started dancing, the steps would go right out of my head. So, but I got the spin in, even though you tried to lead.
So I said, what do you expect? You taught yourselves.
I tried to pay attention, though, the female steps and the male steps. So.
She doesn't want to dance anymore. She's tired of it.
I'm embarrassed is what it is. I can still dance. I'm just, it's...
I can go in the other room and not watch.
Do you truly, seriously want to dance with me again?
Yeah, he's saying let's dance. He said let's dance some more.
Okay, let's do it. But if anybody else comes down here, I'm telling
We're
you.
done. Yeah, the human person is done.
Okay, and I promise not to try and lead in the spin.
A dance sequence for the castle waltz.
Ready? Step out. Castle spin. Pony trot backwards. Zigzag, step, 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 turn. Wind.
I'm so self-conscious, but thank you for dancing with me again. Okay, now I am done.
That was a big joy for him because he was sick and he didn't get to go to the dances.
Yeah, I feel bad about that.
So that was a big joy for him, dancing. He liked music and wanted to go to the dances and he couldn't go.
Yeah. Well, I'm really delighted to be able to do that for you and with you. And thank you for dancing with me, and thank you for not laughing too hard. Has he sat back down?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Wonderful. So again, is there anything you would like to ask me? Excuse me. I had a sandwich right before I came down, and all that dancing jiggled it loose. Is it okay if we hold hands again?
You feel anything?
I do. I do. I usually have my hand palm up and I can feel a tingling warmth on the top of on the palm when I have my hand up. And now I'm holding my hand with the palm down, and I feel a delightful, really splendid, wonderful warmth on my palm again. So I know that you're holding my hand. Thank you. Thank you so much.
See, when I like holding your hand, you're a pretty lady.
Oh. Thank you. Oh, wow, it just got lots hotter. Well, thank you. Oh, Chris, you're a dear. I'm so glad I know you. And I'm so glad Diane can help us talk. I wish I knew more of what you looked like.
Tall, slender, nice looking.
Yeah. I've got a picture of you in my head.
Yeah, young, dark hair.
So now there's no more warmth. There's a little bit of a pulsing. But the warmth is, warmth is back a little bit. You want to make sure that I know that you're holding my hand, don't you? I cannot mistake this for anything else, Chris.
Yeah, I know when they touch you, nothing else feels the same as when a spirit's touching you.
Yeah. I think, tell me if I'm correct, I think you've got your fingers on top of my fingers as well?
Yeah, he's got his hands like underneath that.
Okay, so I'm sure to feel it. Well, I do feel it, thank you. Yeah, because now I feel a tingling on the top of my fingers as well. Oh, Chris, you're so good to me, thank you. Chris, it is so special to be able to talk with you, thank you. And it's so special to have you holding my hand.
He told me I said he was skinny and I was skinny. I said back to him, yes, I know.
Well, Chris, is there anything you'd like us to do for you? I mean, you got to be kind of
bored down
and lonely down here with just the grouchy old guy.
Yeah, the grouchy guy back there. And Rhoda just comes down once in a while.
Yeah, Rhoda visits you, and that's wonderful. I'm so pleased that you hold my hand. That's so neat. That's very special. Thank you.
If you want other spirits to talk to, I guess you'll have to go upstairs. If they don't come down here.
And nobody else will dance with you.
Yeah, nobody else plays music for him. The other spirits have been here a long time too, like you, Chris. Because he said, I've been here a long time.
Yeah, we have spirits that have been here just about as long as you have. But we love them all, no matter how long they've been here. I was in the cemetery earlier today, the one that Rhoda's buried in, here on the grounds, and I felt kind of bad because all people do is they visit the veterans and they visit Rhoda, and all the other people seem to get kind of left out in the cold, so I walked all around the cemetery and said hello to everybody who's there instead of just Rhoda. And I told them that we love them all, because we do. And I got the feeling that people appreciated it.
Yeah. He asked if you found his.
I thought you said you were buried here.
Yeah, because one time he said he told me they sent his body home. So,
Right, yeah.
So she wouldn't find yours because you said that you went home.
Boy, howdy, if I knew where you were buried, I would definitely go visit you.
Yeah, if you were
Trust me,
buried
I
here,
would.
yeah.
Yeah, if you were buried here, I would completely, totally find out where you were buried here and visit you there as well as here. But yeah, you told Diane that
They sent your body back home to your family.
Yeah. Somewhere in Indiana, I think it was.
So she wouldn't find your grave here because it's not here. It's on your family's land.
Yeah, it could be on the land or it could be in a cemetery there.
Yeah.
I have no way of knowing because your last name can be spelled so many different ways that I had a hard time even finding you looking, let alone finding out where you're buried.
Yeah, and it's been so long ago that maybe they didn't keep the records.
If we had a Ouija board, we could have them spell it out. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Chris. I would never, ever, ever ask you to come through the Ouija board.
Yeah. Because you couldn't be sure if it was him or not.
Yeah. No, that was a joke, and it was rather poor taste. I apologize. Okay, now we're hearing thumps and bangs from people getting settled upstairs for the show.
Oh, they're right up above us.
Yeah, I think so. I can never tell. There are so many twists and turns to come down to this area that I lose track of where. So I know the kitchen's up there. So I don't know. We can't be that close to the edge of the building. I don't know. I'm not very good at spatial concepts.
Oh, I don't know either, because since that used to be the boiler room, I don't know how close to the outside wall.
Well, there's a window there.
Okay.
There's like a window well.
Oh, okay. You said it was really hot down here back then. I imagine it would be, but
It still is sometimes. It was cool today, but I've been in this building in July where it's just been beastly. I don't mind the hot though.
And they used to be in tents, because he's talking about something about tents. And they used to have like the...
Yeah, there was a tent colony for TV
That's what I thought.
on this site.
Because he's saying that, the tents were really hot. I imagine they were.
Oh, really? Yeah, because in the winter you spoke of having stoves in the corner. And if you were close to the stove, you're warm, but if you're farther away, but gosh, in the summer, I just don't know what you do. Because they didn't have electric fans.
They didn't have fans out there, and they just had, the only shade would be trees.
Yeah.
It would be horrible.
But yeah, I mean, I've been camping in a tent, and if you don't have the windows, the sides rolled up, it gets horrible in there. So I feel for you. Do you remember how long you were here? Because you've talked about winter and you've talked about summer.
He's not sure of how many years, but he said there's been a lot of winters and summers.
Oh my. So you can't have been just lying on a bed that whole time. Were you able to get up and like play games of checkers and stuff? What did you do for entertainment if you couldn't go out to the dances? I'm just being nosy now.
Then they walked around. They walked around and talked to other patients and walked around outside on the grounds and.
Oh, so you did get to go outside. That's good.
Before he got too sick, yeah. He could walk around.
Okay. So you know how pretty it is out here. Just think, we get to walk around the same places he used to. Pretty much, sort of, kind of.
Yeah, because he said it looks different now, which it does, because they didn't have all those buildings over there.
True,
Yeah.
true. Some buildings have come and gone, and I'm sure the tree line's a little different. I'm sure the ravine was still there.
And Indians, saying something about Indians. They watch for Indians.
Did you?
Which I know they had Indians in Bartonville.
Well, I mean, back in the day, like
Yeah.
before the coal miners were here. So, were you here when they had a zoo on the ground? Did you get to visit the zoo at all?
It was like what we would call a petting zoo, because they had small animals, sheep, goats,
Yeah.
chickens.
Lots of chickens, I hear. But I tell you what, Chris, your family must really have wanted the best care for you if they sent you
And they sent you here.
all the way from Indiana to come here.
Because this was the best in the state, probably in several states.
Mm-hmm. The best of the
place,
world.
yeah. This was the best hospital.
I don't know what that is.
See, now you hear it?
Oh yeah, I was hearing it before, but now it's really,
Yeah.
It sounds like a mouse.
That's what I was wondering, if it was a mouse. But if it is, stay over there. I don't like mice. Ghosts don't bother me, but I don't like mice. My ghosts don't try to crawl out my pant leg or run over my feet or anything.
I don't mind mice. I think mice are nice. There's a poem about that. I think mice are nice.
He's laughing at me now, saying that was funny. I said a mouse is going to crawl out my pant leg.
In your day, it would have been a mouse is going to crawl up my skirts.
Yeah, I think there's a mouse back there.
Yeah.
I know there's a mouse crawling up my leg.
Their whiskers are long, their faces small, they haven't any chins at all. They nibble things they shouldn't touch, and no one seems to like them much. But I think mice are nice. So did you have to recite poetry when you were a kid? Did you go to school, or did you?
You said that sounded like a kid's.
It is a child's poem.
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes, you see, sometimes when he was younger, they went to school, which, they had like the one-room schools, all different grades, but then sometimes he had to stay home and help his dad with the farm.
Well, of course. Yeah, you're a guy.
Yeah, that's what they did back then. And kids stayed home and helped on the farm.
Yeah.
So he didn't go regular.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We won't hold it against you.
That's just how it was back then.
Yeah.
And school was a long way from where he lived.
So what did you you want to be when you grew up? What did you want to, did you just figure you'd be a farmer like your father? Did you want to do something else?
He said that the boys are raised that they were going to be farmers.
Mm. That's it, nothing.
Yeah.
No choice.
Yeah. You didn't get to say anything else. You might have wanted to be something else, but your dad said you're going to be farmers. And
Okay.
They, take over their land and farm the land.
Well, that's not all bad. That's a good.
Yeah, we need farmers.
That's a very admirable thing to do.
Yeah. Farmers feed us city people.
Yeah. Well, I bet you would like to come and see my garden. I have lots and lots and lots of tomato plants. And the tomatoes are just finally starting to get ripe. I'm so happy. And I have a little tiny little weensy little patch of corn. And green beans. I grew green beans. And what else? Oh, I got some cucumbers going. So, I'm a farmer just like you. No, I'm not.
That's what he said. You sound like a farmer girl.
Well, farming is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Gardening is fun.
Yeah, farming's different than gardening.
Oh, yes, and I understand that completely, but I really enjoy gardening. I enjoy the idea of putting a seed into the ground and watching it grow into a great big huge plant. I think that's just miraculous. And again, Chris, I'm looking at the chair you're sitting in, but if my gaze is kind of unfocused, I apologize because I wish I could see you.
He's still sitting there.
Okay.
He's talking about showing me corn. So they had corn and how tall the corn would get.
Okay. Well, mine is modern corn. It's designed for the garden, so it's no higher than that.
Yeah, because corn out in the country would grow really tall.
Oh, yeah.
Like 6 foot or something. It'd grow really tall.
Yeah, I
And
passed
the
some cornfields on the way here.
Big
and it's
fields, yeah.
taller than me.
He's saying they could run around in the corn and nobody could see them and nobody knew they were in there. And they would like play in the corn because nobody could see them.
Wonderful.
That would probably make me itch though.
Yeah, after a while that's making me itch just thinking about it.
Yeah. So the corn's hit me.
Yeah.
But back then they didn't have, the technology and TV and they had to
make your own
make
fun.
up games. Yeah, make your own fun. Playing in the barn. He's talking about now. They were playing in the barn.
Did you have barn cats?
Wild cats. Yeah, they probably would be wild cats. We call them feral. They called them wild. Wild cats.
Same difference.
Yep.
Same thing.
And little kittens, and they would run from them.
Oh.
Who wants to know when you're coming back again?
Ooh.
That's a good
After
question.
tonight, I don't know. I did decide, though, that I'm going to be here all night with the group that's coming down. So Diane's going to leave So unfortunately, she won't be here to tell me what you're saying, but I will be back down.
So you'll have to speak loud so she can get it on her recorder and listen to it later.
Yeah. And I will be sure to come down here at least one more time tonight with these other groups, with these other people that are coming, and I will tell them about you. And I will tell them how wonderful you are. And I might even admit to dancing. So is it a deal? Will you keep talking to me when I come down here again? And if I seem to be ignoring you, I apologize so hard in advance. But I don't know.
She's not really ignoring you. It's just I'm the only one that can see you. So. You have to touch her to let her know where you are.
Yeah.
If you touch her on the arm or the hand, then she'll know where you're at.
The arm, that's fine. If you want to stroke my hair, if you want to touch my hair to let me know that you're around, that's completely fine with me. Because once Diane goes, I won't know unless you touch me. Deal?
So when she comes back again, you touch her to let her know you're standing by her.
I would like that very much. To know for sure that you're here.
And you don't have to stand off in the corner because none of the other people can see you either.
Oh yeah, you can wander around.
You can walk all around and nobody can see you.
You could probably, you may have somebody sit on your lap again.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Like that one lady. Yeah.
That was so funny.
That was funny. Boy, she just hopped up really quick. Nobody can see you but me, so you can walk all around or sit down or dance,
Yeah.
talk. Well, I don't know why I'm the only one.
Yeah. I wish I could. I really wish I could. I'll just have to wait until I pass over, and then I will get to see you as clearly as you can see me right now.
Yeah.
I'm holding you to that. You promised that you'd be waiting for
That
me.
he would come up and say something to you.
Yeah. You promised you'd wait for me there, and I'm gonna hold you to that. Chris, thank you so much.
Is he touching your hand?
He hasn't touched them yet.
Touch your hand again.
I'm hoping that you take my hands because I held them out for you. There we go. The tingling. And a little bit of warmth. So, I will come back.
And you stay here, and we're going to leave, and you stay down here.
If you want to, I mean, I'm coming back down. I
Yeah,
promise
she'll
I
be
will come
back
back
down
down
to talk
at
to
least
you.
once more.
He said bring the little girl down. We don't know where the little girl is, so if you know her name,
I thought the little girl was usually down here already.
Yeah.
Is that not the case? Does she go back and forth upstairs?
Or at least she must at least go out of the room and then come back in. Because we heard her, it sounded like her that one time.
Oh yeah. She is usually in
here.
either one of these two rooms.
Yeah. Cause it sounded like
I don't know what to tell you about that, Chris. I thought she was
Yeah.
down here all the time like you.
If she's hiding, then you have to say something to her.
Yeah.
She's hiding in
She's
the
not
dark.
gonna listen to us.
Yeah, I can't see her in the dark, so you have to say something to her.
Yeah. And warn your grouchy friend that people are coming down.
Yeah. Okay. I'm surprised he doesn't slam the door like other people have reported he slammed that door, haven't they?
Yeah, well, there was one time, the very first time Chris held my hand, very first time we met, I was with a group in that room, and we had a camera on the door, and we heard that door slam, but the door never moved,
Oh, wow.
which was weird.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, I hope we got it on camera, hope we got it on camera. And I absolutely know for a fact that all of us heard that door slam, but the door never moved. So. Mousy-kin.
Yeah. Yeah, he's busy back there.
Building a nest or something.
Yeah, because he stands in that doorway like nobody's coming in here, which I think some people probably will go in there.
I'm sorry, we're just gonna walk right through you. Like always.
Yeah, even if you're standing there, they're gonna go in there.
Yeah,
and try to
You
pick you up on tape.
Not to be rude or anything, but you don't do a very good job of blocking the door
No.
in your current state.
But you could slam the door again. We wouldn't
Yeah,
mind
sure.
that.
That's fine with me.
Slam the door.
Yeah.
Like you're telling people they can't go in there. That's the room where you work. There's no boiler in there now though, so you don't have to work.
And it's hard to give up old habits, isn't it? Well, Chris, it's beautiful weather outside, so if you want to get outside at any point and walk around like you used to, it's July, it's warm, it's really nice out right now.
The breeze is blowing. Oh, it's nice outside.
I just feel bad that you choose to stay
down here.
I mean, you said that you can go to heaven and visit with your folks and everything, but then when you come back down here, when you come back to Earth, for lack of a better word, you always stay down here. I mean, that's great. I'm glad I can visit with you. I'm glad I know where to find you.
Yeah, I don't know why he would choose to come back at all either. Because this is where he lived and where he remembers. I don't know why.
Yeah, if heaven is so great, why do you come back? I'm curious. So what does draw you back here, Chris?
He said this is where he lived and this is all what he remembers mostly is being here. But I don't know why he would want to come back either. Why would you want to stay in heaven with your family? Said he likes going back and forth, and we don't understand. And like, yeah, you're right, we don't understand.
Not yet.
Yeah. Someday we'll understand.
Earth is so beautiful that I can see why you would want to come back. I know you talked about missing your family, and I'm glad you're reunited with them now. And I can understand wanting to come back and just get whiffs of earth air
And
again.
visit the people that he knew here when he was here.
Oh yeah, that's
And,
true.
Yeah,
'cause-
visit with the ones that he knew when he was here.
Yeah. And hey, Rhoda is still here. That's somebody
Yeah.
else to visit.
Rhoda's here and the little girl's here. It was
I can see how there would be reasons to come back.
and him and that little girl were friends. So yeah,
Ah.
that would be a reason for him to want to come back and see her.
Neat.
He felt sorry for her.
Oh.
So she must have had like a brace on her leg, because that's what it sounded like at one time.
Yeah, that's what we've gathered.
Mm-hmm. She had a metal brace on her leg.
Mm.
They must be going to come down soon. He keeps pacing.
Mm.
He says the girl doesn't know where to go, so he comes back to see her.
Oh my.
Maybe she,
What a little kid.
yeah. Wish there were some that were in the Bowen that I talked to on ghost hunts over there that told me too that they didn't know where else to go. So that's why they stayed there. They didn't know where to go.
Mm.
So. And I'm not like somebody else that would tell them to cross over and go to the light.
Yeah.
I would just say,
I wouldn't be that presumptuous. I mean, hey, if you want to stay here, stay here.
yeah. I would just ask them, why are you still here? And I remember a lady saying, well, I don't know where else to go.
Oh,
So,
bless her heart.
yeah.
Well, Chris, I am glad that you found your way to heaven to be with your family, and I'm glad that you can find your way back here to talk to us. And dance every once in a while. It is nice to know that it is Rhoda on that other recording.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for, we were hoping it was, but thank you for confirming that for us,
Yeah,
Chris.
we had heard her voice.
Yeah, and to know that now we have heard her voice and yours, that's incredible. Do you know how much that means to us? To hear you and to have you hold my hand, do you know how incredible that is?
Oh, yes, you're special. You're special to us. As he said, I'm nothing special.
You are.
You are special to us.
You are very special. You're very special to me. Yes, you are.
I hope you've enjoyed this visit with the boy in the basement. For more about Chris, and about his fellow patients, check out Fractured Souls, the second volume in the Asylum series, available on Amazon and wherever fine books are sold. In the next episode, we'll take a walk through the woods to visit St. Louis Canyon at Starved Rock Park. Grab your bug spray and we'll go lights out.